If you're looking for a podcast about obscure cinema, look no further. We bring you the history and facts, information and news, opinions and laughter, rants and reviews. This is Reel 9.
Welcome to Reel 9. I'm Dungeon Dan.
And I'm Creepy Uncle Kevin.
Tonight we are going to talk about the movie Inside. Kevin's got the info.
Inside, 2007. It's a French home invasion gore fest written and directed by Alexandre Bustillo and Julien Mouret. Something like that. This is their first...
Is it better when you give yourself an accent?
It's their first film, man. And it's great for a first film, too, because it takes place at one location, and it's sort of that home invasion thing. After this, they made a film called Livid, which I haven't seen, and following this, they're directing the film Leatherface, 2017's Leatherface, the reboot of the origin story. And
okay.
Yeah. And also what's interesting... because it's two guys, and they teamed up because friends introduced them. I guess people were like, oh, these guys are both horror fans. They should meet each other. And they took off as being a team now. They both say that their biggest influences are Dario Argento, Clive Barker, Roman Polanski, and John Carpenter. They turned down offers after this movie because it was successful. They turned down the offer to direct Halloween 2. They were actually asked to direct that instead of Rob Zombie before he did it. They were also asked to direct Hellraiser reboot, and they turned it down. And for some reason, they said yes to Leatherface. So I want to see what's up with that.
I would love to know more about that.
Yeah.
They just turned down two huge ones, but they chose another huge one.
Right. And an origin story. So I don't know. I think it'll be creepy. Actually, at the end of Inside, I was like, oh, that could be Leatherface's origin story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Totally could. All right, but this is the non-spoiler edition. But when you see it, you'll laugh, okay? So anyway, keep an eye on these filmmakers. Dan, you want to take it from here?
Please.
Okay. Well, okay. I don't want to say that. She's attacked by a strange woman who wants to take her baby away. So hence the home invasion. Only this girl is absolutely batshit crazy.
And you know what's interesting is the mysterious bitch is only credited as the woman in the film.
I like mysterious bitch better.
I know, that's what I think. She's a mysterious bitch.
That was no woman.
Right.
Not at all.
And she's like, she's stylized and dapper, man. She's all slick and dressed in black, like wearing a corset and sporting these black gloves.
I thought it was a really cool goth outfit. I mean, she really looked hot in it, even though she was in the shadows all the time.
Right.
I liked it, man.
Yeah, she reminded me of the chick in Audition. She's like the French version of that.
And she's got to be probably the best villain I've seen in a while.
Right.
Because she's relentless. This is like having a Terminator come after you, or a zombie. There's just no stopping her.
Right. And so to do this non-spoiler review, also, I guess I'd like to compare it to a mix of Strangers and High Tension. And I want to say that it's amazing that it starts with just two characters, and by the end of the movie, this body count tallies up, and you'll be surprised at the body count. If you really want to go in like this, don't even see the trailer. I heard about this movie on a Facebook site, this Grindhouse Facebook site, and it was recommended to me. I saw the poster and said, I'm going to check it out. Found it on Yes Movies, which you can find also. You can find it on there. It's make sure you look for it, because I think there's other films called Inside, so you got to look for the one that says 2007.
There's actually I saw two on Yes Movies.
Yeah.
You got that?
And by the way, if you're going to look it up, you have to type in yesmovies.to. If you go to any other one, you're not going to get to see anything.
Right. There are other ones. I've even stumbled on them by accident.
You got that?
So when you find the right one, bookmark it, because you're going to be using it all the time. If you're listening to this, you're going to be using it all the time.
It's all for you.
Yeah, like us.
I ain't lying.
But another thing to add to this non-spoiler thing is that this movie is for gore aficionados only.
Does blood turn you on?
I think other people just walk away and be offended by it and repulsed. Wouldn't you say? Who do you recommend it to, Dan?
That's the problem. I've been trying to think of which of my horror friends that I would recommend this to, and none of them have they don't have what it takes to get through this movie. I even cringed, and that says a lot.
Oh, that is gross.
Yeah.
This was a hard one. The makeup effects were not top notch. It's just the gore content. It was amazing, and they must have used like 100 gallons. It was just
I
everywhere.
think the effects are pretty top notch, though. Even that. Well, we can't talk about the scenes, though. Okay. All right.
No, we
all right,
can't
never mind.
spoil
Never
it
mind.
yet.
Yep. But yeah, it's surprising how much gore there is. Most people would find this offensive, and but it's a splatter film. It's just a French, a French, a French. That's what you call a splatter French film. Splench.
Now we're making our own vocabulary. This
It's a
is great.
splench film.
On the street, however, it became known as
Splench. But yeah, keep the blood flowing. This movie rocks. And what's interesting,
It does.
what's interesting is that they're remaking it, and I don't even know why would anyone want to remake it, or
No!
they have it has to
Unless
be.
it's just to get rid of the subtitles so that all the English-speaking people can just not have to read.
Por favor.
Doesn't bother me.
I hope they fix the motive.
Por favor.
That was the
Don't spoil it.
that the motive. Yeah, I'm not going to say
Yeah.
what, but that was a problem with me. That's why I would also give it 4 stars, but having digested it, I might back down to 3.5 only because of that. That
Yeah.
1/2 is gone because of that.
Cut the shit, Dan.
Well, it gets the solid 4 also for me, just because it's the first film, and I know that they're doing a restricted thing in one location. And just thinking of like them trying to make this movie at one spot, I think they really overdid it on this. Just like everything that could happen happens in this movie.
Oh gosh, I still can't get it out of my head.
Yep. So also, I guess the remake is done, and it's going to be directed by this guy Miguel Angel. Damn it, Miguel
Put the
Angel
accent into it.
Vivas. Miguel Angel Vivas. Well, he's the guy who directed Kidnapped, and at one point we're going to be doing a podcast about that film also.
Coming soon.
He also directed the film Evolution, and it's weird because he's from Spain, so they're having a French film remade by the guy from Spain, and they're shooting it in English, so it'll be accepted by us over here. So whatever, I don't know. And Kidnap's a fucked up movie too.
I don't think I've watched it yet, but now I'm going to.
Yeah, Kidnapped is known as the movie with 15 shots. This is crazy. We're gonna podcast about it. Maybe we'll actually join these two with that film. But yeah, Kidnapped is also good. So, all right, a couple more things though. Let's see here. She's on Rotten Tomatoes. This movie gets 87%. Isn't that crazy?
That's actually pretty good.
Right.
They're kind of critical on what they do.
Gosh, maybe like just a few people saw it, huh, and wrote reviews. They're all out of the 4 people that saw it.
It rates at that would be us.
They're all Dungeon
Yeah,
Dan and Creepy Uncle Kevin give it a freaking thumbs up, man. They loved it. Well, all right, right on. Let's go to the spoiler part. Let's have fun.
Okay, make sure you guys want to hear this, but I'll tell you this: watch it on movies. Don't wait for it to get re-released. Released as the new version. You got to see this version first because they're going to change stuff.
Yep. Absolutely. All right.
That's my warning.
Over and out.
Over and out.
Stop sign! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Cover your virgin ears!
If you haven't seen the movie and you want to keep secrets for it, and then when you watch it you want to be surprised, don't listen to this.
Are you for real?
Hello and welcome to Real 9. I'm Dungeon Dan.
And I'm Creepy Uncle Kevin.
Creepy Uncle Kevin called me up and told me there's this movie I just have to watch. A French movie called The Inside. And we just both finished watching it. And this is the most fucked up movie I've seen and I love it.
It's
Kevin.
It's insane. It's a French, like a French home invasion splatter flick that starts with just essentially 2 characters, a pregnant woman and some sort of skinny chick, some skinny French chick that's like the French version of the audition girl or something.
Fucking demon of death is what
Isn't
she is.
she kind of cool? I mean, she has this strange like goth sensibility to her with her clothing.
I gotta admit, she was actually kind of hot up until she
Right.
went, batshit crazy, and then I'm just like, oh shit.
Yeah, there was something cute about her in her demeanor. And what's weird about it is you think it's just going to be these 2 people battling it out, and it doesn't seem like that's going to be much of a threat or anything bad. Because all right, so there's a pregnant woman and some other girl wants to kick her ass or rob her or whatever. So it doesn't seem like that's going to be a big battle. But by the end of the movie, there's like a body count of like 5 or 6 people or some shit.
I think it was up to about 6, and they probably used about 800 gallons of blood
Right.
in this movie.
Completely
Oh
over the
my
top.
god.
And I mean, well, the thing that's bad about it is once you get to the actual reason as to why she's kind of doing this or why she wants the baby, that's what's going on. She wants the baby, and you don't know why. When you figure out why, it's kind of corny, right, Dan?
It was a bit of a buzzkill,
Yeah.
but I was still in such shock about everything that I'd seen so far. It was easy to get past it.
Right.
But yeah, it was kind of weird. Another thing about the movie is this wasn't a slow burn. It had the very opening, maybe the first 10, 15 minutes were relatively slow and benign.
Right.
And then it gets creepy, and then it just goes balls out
Then
for the rest of the damn movie.
once it starts, it just does not let on.
Never
Yeah.
lets up. And it's this big fight to everybody's death. But, I was a little confused as to who the chick was. At first, I thought it was that crazy-ass cigarette-smoking nurse that was in the hospital.
Right.
She was creepy. But then I realized it wasn't her.
I like the opening, how it's so dark, because, well, basically what happens in the opening is she survives a horrible car crash.
And her husband doesn't.
And her husband doesn't. She's pregnant, and then it cuts to 4 months later, and she's about to have the baby. And everything seems dark and glib because it's Christmas, and she's without her spouse, and the nurse is a total bitch to her, and just comes up to her and is like, "Oh yeah, is this your first? My first was so painful. It lasted 13 hours," and just all this horrible stuff. Everything around her is glib and awful.
The nurse kind of was cracking me up a bit. I mean, this is not funny, but it's still funny because it's a horror movie. She's all like, 13 hours of pain he put me through, and he was born dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the hell just sits down, lights up cigarettes, and tells a stranger this shit?
Right. French bitch.
Yeah. Man, don't trust them Frenchies, man. They'll come take your shit. But yeah, so, and then our main character, she's being kind of a bitch to everybody, too. I get it. You know, she misses her husband. She's going to be a single mom. But it's like everybody that was just trying to be around her, she's just like, no, I want to be alone. No, I want to be alone. She was even mean to the cat.
It's a fucking cat. Meow, meow.
You know?
Right.
So in a way, you know, if she had just let people come over, this probably wouldn't have happened. But I will say the introduction to the crazy lady was brilliant. You know, a knock on the door and saying, can I use your phone?
And what about that
my-
trippy dream sequence before the knock on the door that happens for no reason?
Yeah, what was that all about?
Or like her mouth stretches and the baby erupts out of her mouth.
Yeah, like she gave birth from her mouth.
Yep.
That was really weird.
And then it smash cuts to the knock on the door right when the lady's arriving. Yeah.
Yeah, so then, you know, when the lady's trying to get in and the girl's not letting her in, you know, it started getting weird because she was just so insistent. Then all of a sudden she calls her by name and she knows things, and that scares the shit out of the girl. Mm-hmm. So while she's calling the cops, we see the crazy woman at her window, but we don't get to really see her face very much. And that made it really kind of scary.
And then she lights a smoke and you can see her face. You know, if you think about it, Dan, this is just like a really big say no to smoking ad. Because right when they introduce the villain, she lights a cigarette, and her demise, or not her demise, but her disfigurement at the end was due to that damn cigarette.
Yeah. Yep. She would have come out a little less unscathed.
If she would have had a vape. You know, like, fuck, dude. It's like, oh, should have had a vape.
You don't forget to smoke, though.
You know, and that's the other thing. She lit that cigarette up. She was about to kill the pregnant girl to get the baby again. And she stops and lights a cigarette. Wow. That's balls.
I always smoke when I work. They go together.
That's being batshit crazy
That
right there.
that scene was bullshit too. I mean, I was thinking about it afterwards. I hate it in those movies when people land. They're like, oh, I just happened to land by a thing of aerosol. Oh shit, she's gonna light a smoke before she kills me. We gotta wrap this shit up, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
And by the way, all of a sudden a knife mysteriously was on the floor near her.
Right.
All she had was a crochet needle. And right after she burns fucking crazy bitch's face, all of a sudden now there's a knife. And this really cool extendable tube that she can shove the knife into and make longer like a spear. Where the hell did all that come from?
I rewound that too. And I just, where did the tube come from? Was that part from the shower, from the what? From the oven? Strange.
Well, same with the knife. I mean, I saw she was knocking stuff over, but the container that had all the knives didn't get knocked over. So I'm like,
And then it
where did
extends.
yeah. Oh, by the way, how cool was it the way she extended? She like struggles, and all of a sudden you hear,
Yep.
and it's like now it's like twice as long. I'm like, oh shit.
Now she's all smart. You're just like, oh, dumb bitch. Why don't you wrap a fucking towel around that piece of mirror that you're using to cut open the door? You know?
Yeah, a lot of bad decisions. I get it. You're scared. You're not thinking straight. But she had enough time in that locked bathroom to figure out a better way, to protect herself.
Right.
But the scenes when Crazy Woman was outside the bathroom were great too, because you just get to see how off her rocker she is. And when she gets her arms stabbed, and she gets really pissed off about it.
I think they did a good job with that, without having any dialogue or any character development. They tried to do it with her showing that she was a true nutcase, but she could have emotions. I mean, she broke down, and she seemed sympathetic when she killed that cat.
A fucking cat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, again, this is where I was thinking. It's like, who is this girl? Is she a witch? Is she some type of cultist? I couldn't figure it out because she doesn't speak much. And when she first gets into the house, she sits down on the girl's bed while she's sleeping, and then tries to stick scissors into her belly to cut her open.
That's a terrifying scene.
Yeah, that's actually pretty scary. I would hate to wake up and there's somebody on my bed with a weapon looking at me like, damn it, I have no chance at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie, wow. And the amount of blood they used, it just seemed like this girl was swimming in it all the fucking time. Even when she was in her automobile accident, she was just all gored out and blood drooling out of her mouth. It looked uncomfortable.
Oh, at the end, there was just blood pouring down the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then a crazy chick with half her face burnt away hugging the newborn baby in a rocking chair.
Man.
Only the French can end a movie like that.
It's the end.
Yeah, well, who gives a fuck? It's over now.
And it was good. It was great. But now it's over.
Dude, we totally are spoiling everything and not even really explaining what happens.